Welcome to another episode of The Bug Bite, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph. In this episode, we are going to go over the critical unpatched Cisco Zero bug, which is an which is under active exploit. This is currently happening at the moment that we're reading this. So this article is from Dark Reading, right? And it was published on October 16th, 2023. All right. So this says the critical unpatched Cisco zero-day bug is under active exploit. No patch or workaround is currently available for the maximum severity flaw, which allows attackers to gain complete administrator privilege on affected devices remotely and without authentication. So this is written by Jai Vijayan. He's a contributing writer for Dark Reading, and he wrote this on October 16th, 2023. So by the time this goes live, this might be resolved. Who knows, right? Who knows? So let's find out what's going on. So it says Cisco is asking customers to immediately disable the HTTPS server feature on all of their interfacing iOS XE devices to protect against a critical zero-day vulnerability in the web user interface on the operating system that an attacker is actively exploiting. So let's quickly find out what this is, right? Because I'm not familiar with this. So Cisco IOS XE, it is a software for an evolving network. It is an open and flexible operating system optimized for the future of work. This is being used for the future of work. If companies are using it, that means those companies stand to be under the hack. So let's see. I'm curious about this to find out exactly what it is. But let's get to the article. So So Cisco IOS XE is an operating system that Cisco uses for its next generation enterprise networking gear. The flaw signed as CVE 2023 20198 affects all Cisco IOS XE devices that have the Web UI feature enabled. No patch or other workaround is currently available for the flaw, which Cisco described as a privilege escalation issue that enables complete device takeover. Cisco has assigned the vulnerability a maximum possible severity rating of 10 out of 10 on the CVSS scale. All right, so let's find out more about this CVE 2023 20198 maximum security flaw. It says the vulnerability allows a remote, unauthenticated attacker to create an account on an affected system with privilege level 15 access. Cisco said in an advisory on October 16th on the new zero-day bug. The attacker can then use that account to gain control of affected system. Privilege level 15 on a Cisco iOS system basically means having complete access to all commands, including those for reloading the system and making configuration changes. An unknown attacker has been exploiting the flaw to access Cisco internet facing iOS XE devices and drop a Lua language implant that facilitates arbitrary command executions on affected systems. To drop the implant, the threat actor has been leveraging another flaw, the CVE 20211435, a medium severity command injection vulnerability in the web UI component of iOS XE that Cisco patched in 2021. The threat actor has been able to deliver the implant successfully even on devices that are fully patched against CVE 2021 1435 via an as yet underdetermined mechanism, Cisco Talos researchers said in a separate advisory. Cisco said it first got wind of the new vulnerability when responding to an incident involving unusual behavior on a customer's device on September 28th. The company's subsequent investigation showed that malicious activity related to the vulnerability actually may have begun as early as September 18th. So we are now, as I'm reading this is October 19th. And this might have been going on since as early as September 18th. So this is a whole month incident now, right? The first incident ended up with the attacker leveraging the flaw to create a local user account with admin privileges from a suspicious IP address. Malicious activity cluster targets Cisco networking. On October 12th, Cisco's Talos incident response team spotted another cluster of malicious activity related to the flaw. As with the first incident, the attacker initially created a local user account from a suspicious IP. But this time around, the threat actor took several additional malicious actions, including dropping the implant for arbitrary command injection. For the implant to become active, the web server must be restarted, Cisco Talos said. In at least one observed case, the server was not restarted, so the implant never became active despite being installed, Cisco noted. The implant itself is not persistent, meaning that an organization can get rid of it via device reboot. However, the local users that attackers can create via CVE 2023-20198 are persistent and giving attackers continued administrator level access on affected systems even after the device restarts. Cisco Talos researchers urged organizations to be on the lookout for new or unexplained users on iOS XE devices as potential evidence that attackers have exploited the flaw. They also provided a command that organizations can use to determine if the implant is presently on any affected device. So, immediately implement guidance. We strongly recommend organizations that may be affected by the active by the activity immediately implement the guidance outlined in Cisco's product security incident response team advisory. The company said Cisco has assessed the same threat actor is behind both clusters of malicious activity related to the new flaw. Cisco iOS XE's Web UI component is a system management feature that allows administrators to provide the system to Cisco's iOS XE Web UI component is a system management feature that allows administrators to provide the system. Cisco describes it as a simplifying system deployment and manageability. CVE 2023-20198 is the second significant vulnerability that Cisco has disclosed in the same feature in recent weeks. In September, the company disclosed CVE 2023-20231, a command injection vulnerability that allowed an attacker to obtain level 15 privilege on iOS XE devices. So they got this like with that vulnerability about a month ago, they were able to get pretty much the same type of access. And now there's another, like pretty much the same flaw again. 0-day bugs and any bug that enables administrator level privilege on network technology, such as those from Cisco, are especially valuable for attackers. As the US Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, and numerous others have noted, network routers, switches, firewall firewalls, load balancers, and other similar technologies are ideal targets because most or all traffic must flow through them. All right. So that is our article, right? This is pretty crazy that all of this is happening and they don't really have any resolution for this yet, right? They had the same similar issue a few weeks ago and from a different vulnerability, and now you know, and the best that they can do is like turn off the web UI component, but it might be too late at that point by the time the user gets to that point, you know? So let's go back to the full screen. And this is why this is this is where testing meets cybersecurity, right? Um, Especially when creating these type of hardwares and softwares, you need like for the industry that Cisco is in, there needs to be some very stringent testing because if these attackers are able, like, they distribute the software and these products all over the world, and if attackers are able to get into users' um, operating systems and start, creating new users and start dropping malicious attacks on there, it's going to hurt the company, of course, but it's also going to hurt the user because they can get all their data wiped from these operating systems. They like malicious things can be sent out under their name. So many bad things can happen. So I think that there really needs to get a handle on this. Um, you know, what's going on with the security team? What's going on with the testing team? What's going on with the engineers? This is like, and then to have this a very similar issue, this like, pretty much twice in 2 months, and there's not much they can do about it right now. So that we definitely have to take that into consideration, uh, and the thing that sucks for the end user is that you don't know who's testing their software. You don't know how they're testing it. You just have to deal with the repercussions of it. I mean, maybe you can get some money back. Maybe a lawsuit. I don't know, right? For the like, for the a lot of times it's not even worth it. So it just depends on what you can do. But hopefully Cisco figures out. Maybe hopefully they figure it out by the time this video goes live. But if not, hopefully they figure it out soon because you just don't want uninvited guests running through your system. It's just not good. It's not. It doesn't work that way. So that's the article for this week's episode of the Bug Bite. I hope you found it valuable. I hope you enjoyed it. And if so, then do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live and every time we drop a new video. And like the video, share the video with someone you think will find it useful, and we will go from there. So I will see you again next week, same time, same place, for another episode of the Bug Bite. But until then, this is Tech Coach Ralph signing off.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.